Okay, my dear boys. Yes, yes. Okay, my dear boys. So that is entropy. So up to now, there is three thermodynamic functions. That is internal energy, that is delta E, change in internal energy. Enthalpy, that is change in enthalpy, delta H. Okay. So entropy and then change in entropy. All these are different thermodynamic functions. These are proposed because of for explaining spontaneity of the process. So to explain the reversibility and spontaneity of the process. Spontaneity means taking on its own. Spontaneity means taking on its own end. Okay. So, but any one of these individually not clearly explains the spontaneity of the process. So for that purpose, another thermodynamic function, which is Gibbs free energy, is introduced. Gibbs free energy is introduced. So it is indicated with the letter Z, delta Z. C. It is indicated with the letter G. Once again, just like in our previous situations, that is H, U, and S, this is also a state function. It is not possible to calculate this G value, but it can be possible to calculate delta Z value. So delta Z is nothing but change in internal energy. That G function, our scientists defined as, they are defined as, so the G is equal to H minus TSN. This is the definition for G functionality, that is Gibbs functionality. Z is equal to H minus TSN. G is equal to H minus TS. So just like other cases, it is also a state function. It is a state function and also an extensive property. It is a state function and also an extensive property. Okay, so it is this function. Okay, so now this function is introduced to explain the spontaneity of the process. Spontaneity of the process. So now I am taking delta G function. It is not possible to calculate G value because it is not possible to calculate H value and S value. So we can calculate delta H and delta S. By using that, we can calculate delta Z function. Therefore, so that implies dz, change in that is internal energy, is equal to dH minus d of Tsn. D of Ts, that is equal to dH minus, so S constant of first time is S into dt minus T into dsn. S into dt minus T into dsn. So this is dz function. But we know dH is equal to du plus, that is dPV. dH is equal to du plus dPV. That implies du plus PdV plus VdP. PdV plus VdP. Substitute this dH value here. Okay, you will get dG is equal to du plus PdV plus VdP minus SDT minus CDSN minus CDS. But du is equal to dq plus dw. But du is equal to dq plus dw. So substitute this du value here. Therefore, dz is equal to dq plus dw plus pdv plus vdp minus sdt minus cds minus cdsn. Okay, So, but ds is equal to dq theta. That implies dq is equal to tds. dq is equal to tds. Okay, and dw is equal to, I am taking expansion divided by pdv. For expansion, pdv. Substitute this value here and this value here. So we will get dz is equal to dq. dq means tds. tds plus dw means minus pdv. Minus pdv plus pdv plus pdv plus vdp plus vdp minus sdt minus tds minus tds. Therefore, here plus tds minus tds cancel. My minus tvd plus pvdv cancel. Therefore, dg is equal to vdp minus sdt. This is the important relation to calculate change in Gibbs energy. Change in Gibbs energy. dg is equal to vdp minus sdt. vdp minus sdt. Directly we use that formula, but I am trying to derive this formula. So it is easy. That's why I am deriving this formula. So dz is equal to vdp minus sdt. Now different cases. Different cases. See here. At constant temperature, case 1. At constant temperature, dt is equal to 0. dt equal to 0 means this fraction is going to 0. Therefore, dz is equal to vdp. That implies v is equal to dz by dp at constant temperature. It is one relation. V is equal to dg by dt at constant temperature. Next, case 2. At constant pressure, that is Vp is equal to 0. That means now going to be 0. Therefore, dz is equal to minus s dt. Therefore, so minus s is equal to dz by dt, which is at constant pressure Pn. So this is also one more important relation. These relations are generally used in objective side. These relations are generally used in objective side. So the general formula is G is equal to H minus T delta S N. So dz is equal to VdP minus SdT in terms of entropy and volume changes. So different relations. So case 1 and case 2, these are important relations for objective purpose. Okay. Next. Okay, if gas is an ideal gas, okay, we know PV is equal to nRT. PV is equal to nRT. Okay, so now V is equal to nRT by Pn. V is equal to nRT by P. We know dz is equal to vdp. It is the case, isothermal case. It is isothermal case. So that is at constant temperature, isothermal cases. So dz is equal to vdp, but v is equal to this much. Therefore, dz is equal to v means nRT by p into dpn. So integrate on both sides. So that is delta z is equal to nRT into integral dp by p. Therefore, delta z is equal to nRT ln p2 by p1. nRT ln p2 by p1. It is delta Z calculation for isothermal purpose. Calculation of delta Z. So in case of isothermal cases, for isothermal means constant temperature dC is equal to VdP. So because the gas is taken as ideal gas, V is equal to nRT by P, finally we will get, this is the formula, it is important. It is important. Okay. So what is Gibbs energy? Gibbs energy is nothing but useful energy. Useful energy to convert into work. What is entropy? What is entropy? That is the unavailable energy. Entropy is nothing but unavailable energy. So that means that energy is not used to convert into work. That is escaping from the system. That is the entropy. But here G is available energy required for to do useful work. There is energy required to do useful work. That is the G value. So by using this G value, we can calculate whether the process is spontaneous or non-spontaneous. Whether the process is spontaneous and non-spontaneous, we will calculate it. So see here, if process is going to be spontaneous, just a minute, boys. So for a spontaneous process, if a spontaneous means irreversible process, and all spontaneous processes are irreversible. For a spontaneous process, delta G should be negative, nothing but less than 0. Delta S should be greater than 0, that is positive. And for any spontaneous process, see my dear boys, enthalpy H not used to explain the spontaneity of the process. Internal energy not useful. Entropy sometimes explained, but most of the cases it is failed to explain the spontaneity of the process. That means individually all these functions fail to explain the spontaneity of the process. That is why by the combination of these, so this Gibbs energy is introduced because G is nothing but H minus T S rho. That is the delta G is equal to roughly delta H minus T delta S rho. Roughly we are taking delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. That means delta Z is a function of delta H and delta S. Delta S individually failed, delta S individually failed, but the combination is delta H and delta G, delta S, delta G, it is clearly explained the spontaneity of the process. So when a system is going to be spontaneous, when a reaction is going to be spontaneous, the spontaneous of the reaction, for that spontaneous reaction, delta G should be negative. Whenever delta G value is equal to negative, whenever delta G value is negative, automatically the system, irrespective of speed, whether it is a slow process, a fast process, a quick process, whatever it may be, if system has delta Z negative, automatically that goes to a spontaneous process. For any spontaneous process, delta Z negative, delta H greater than 0. And delta Z negative, delta S greater than 0. So it is very, very important, my dear boys. So finally, the spontaneity is explained on the basis of Gibbs energy change, that is the delta Z. So for a spontaneous process, delta Z is negative. For a non-spontaneous process, delta Z is equal to positive. For a non-spontaneous process, delta Z is positive. For a spontaneous process, delta Z is negative. So whenever delta Z negative, that is spontaneous. It is very, very important, boys. Okay. So at which situation the system is going to be spontaneous? At which temperature is possible? That is because the temperature effect is also applied. Okay. So by using these conditions, so when a system is going to be spontaneous, when it is not spontaneous, so I will give a tabular form. See here. So there delta H, delta S, delta G all are used. The tabular form clearly explains the spontaneity of the system. That clearly explains the spontaneity of the system. Now, see here, it is delta H, that is the change in enthalpy. Delta S, which is for system, my dear boys. Delta S. Now, delta Z. Now, conclusion. So, from the data, what we have? But among all these, the only used formula is delta Z is equal to delta H minus T delta S. By using this formula, I will explain the spontaneity of the process. See my advice. First case, if delta H is negative, maybe positive or negative, I am taking negative one. Delta S is positive. What happened? That delta Z value. See, delta H is negative. Delta S positive means, so the overall value negative, negative of negative, overall value negative. Therefore, delta Z at any temperature value, temperature is high or low, whatever it may be, the overall delta Z value is negative. Overall delta Z value is negative. If delta Z value negative, that is spontaneous. At all temperatures, the system is going to be negative. That means for any process whose delta H is negative, delta S is positive, automatically at any temperature the system is delta Z. The system has delta Z negative. Therefore, it should be spontaneous, because for any spontaneous process, delta Z should be negative. Okay, this is negative. Now I am taking reverse cases. If delta H is positive and delta S is negative, what happened delta Z? So it is delta H positive. It is negative. Negative of negative, overall positive. This is positive, this fraction is also positive. Therefore, delta G total value is positive, irrespective of temperature. Irrespective of temperature. Therefore, it is positive. Because it is positive, it is non-spontaneous. At all temperatures, at any temperature, it is non-spontaneous. That means the spontaneity is clearly explained only on the basis of delta Z. That delta Z is calculated with the help of delta H and delta S. Delta G is calculated with the help of delta H and delta S. Now I am taking one more. Now delta H is negative, delta S also negative. See boys, delta H negative, delta S negative. We have formula delta Z is equal to delta H minus E delta. So delta H negative, delta S negative, delta S negative. So that means it is a negative, it is a positive end. It is negative, it is positive. That means, so the overall value may be positive or may be negative. If this value is high, it is positive. If this value is high, it is negative. That means when this value is going to be positive, if T value is high, this fraction value, this product value should be high. That means a positive high, negative low, higher positive, lower negative, that should be positive. That means at high temperature it is positive. At high temperature it is positive. At low temperature it is negative. Therefore, so in this situation, delta Z has two values. Delta Z has two values. So it is positive at high temperature. It is negative at low temperature. Therefore, so here in this case, is positive means non-spontaneous at high temperature. So in this case, spontaneous at low temperature. So that means both are negative, non-spontaneous at high temperature, spontaneous at low temperature. Now, fourth case, both are positive. Both are positive. What happened? Both are positive. Both are positive means we have formula delta Z is equal to delta H minus T delta S. It is positive. It is a positive error. So the overall value may be negative and this is one. Therefore, so if temperature is high, then negative value is positive value is low. Therefore, overall delta Z value is negative. Therefore, at high temperature, delta Z negative value. At low temperature, delta Z positive value. Therefore, the final conclusion is it is a negative end at high temperature. It is a positive error at low temperature. Therefore, in this case, because it is negative, it is spontaneous, it is positive, it is a non-spontaneous. Therefore, spontaneity of the process only explained through delta Z values. So delta Z clearly explains the spontaneity of the reaction. So the spontaneity of the process. So the process in which delta Z is negative is automatically spontaneous, irrespective of nature. So whether the process takes place slow process or the fast process or medium process, so medium speed, whatever it may be, that should be negative. If this is negative, automatically that should be spontaneous. Okay, so these are delta G terms. So